this is my first Kerbal Space Program video, and the save file is kind of new. I started it like a few days ago, so I don't have very many parts unlocked because I'm playing in science mode, which you could probably tell. But I haven't gone into orbit yet, and that's what this rocket is supposed to do. I'm taking Bob Kerman with it, in it, to first orbit for this Kerbal Space Program save file. The video is playing back at 5 times speed, so it's very fast. Here I just did the temperature stuff with the new thermometers that I just unlocked. Well, they're not new, but they're new to me because I just unlocked them. And right here, I couldn't turn the rocket very much at all. This is as far as I was turning it, or as I could turn it. I was trying to turn it more. I was holding down D, but it wasn't turning more than this. But now I've sped the video up at 5 times speed. But now I can turn it more because of this stage. I don't know why that stage wasn't working. But here I have run out of fuel for the first time I attempted to go into an orbit. It failed. But Bob Kerman did survive. But yeah, he did survive. And the video is about to be sped up at 7 times speed right now. If it wasn't already obvious, I'm not talking while playing the game. The gameplay was recorded yesterday, and then I am now just talking over the video. And right here, I had this weird bug where it wouldn't let me turn in directions. It would only let me turn in 2 directions, so I could only turn it a little bit. And it did take a while for re-entry, but with the power of editing and speeding up the footage, it took less than a second in the video, or I guess more than a second. But Bob Kerman is now going to safely return. Now he's on EVA to do an EVA report. And now we wait for the capsule to hit the water. That was a very soft landing, and Bob has survived the first attempt to get into a real Kerbin orbit, except it didn't work at all, but at least he survived. And then I did some more science just now to get more beautiful science points to unlock more stuff, to maybe eventually go to Minmus, and eventually other planets. Or just planets, not other planets, because Minmus isn't a planet. But I used that science to unlock some new parts, obviously, because it said on the screen. Now I got sideways decouplers that I didn't have last time, and new nose cones. And now I'm going to start modifying the rocket to make it better to actually get to the stage, or adding an extra stage to get to orbit. Here is the build time-lapse at 7 times speed. And for some reason it messed up the staging a lot. So it took a while to fix the staging. Now it is a lot longer and slower because it's heavier, but it has an extra stage. But right here, something very bad happened. Right there. I tried to decouple the side boosters when they ran out of fuel, but it didn't work. There were just 2 explosions. I don't know why this happened, but I think it was because the engines weren't attached to the decouplers, and then the decouplers decoupled themselves, but there was nothing attached to them. I think that's might have been what happened, but I don't actually know. And here is the next stage, and for the last rocket that tried to get into orbit but failed, this was the last stage, but now we have another stage. The KSC has decided to add another stage, and I have decided that because I own the KSC, because I'm a billionaire. It has only been 1 minute of flight so far, but now the next stage is turned on, and since I don't have the weight of the other stage, now it goes a lot faster. Not this fast though. This is because I sped the footage up 10 times speed, but it was going very, very fast. Exactly 10 times slower than this. And now the capsule is still very, very hot from all of that. But now, right here, you can see that I am just doing all of the beautiful science experiments to get beautiful science points to unlock new stuff. You can't see it very well because I'm now on the dark side of Kerbin, but you can see it a little bit. Now, I'm resetting all of the mystery goos so that I can do them again at Apoapsis, because in Kerbal Space Program, the science that you can get is split into 2 parts. The science you can get at low orbit, like low space around the place that you're orbiting, and the space high above the place that you're orbiting. So I need to do science at periapsis, which I just did, and science at apoapsis, which I will do. And here, I'm just waiting, and I'm going to sometime soon, right now, I will time warp to Apoapsis to do the other half of the science. And it is better to get in a circular orbit, because obviously my orbit is like an oval, and it's not circular at all. It is better to get in a circular orbit, but if you get in an orbit like this, where the periapsis is a lot lower than the apoapsis, then you can get the science from low orbit and high orbit in one mission instead of doing it twice. That's why I got into this type of orbit. And here, doing science, the same science experiments, but at apoapsis, because it'll give me more science. And now Bob Kerman is on EVA doing his EVA report. Well, he's not anymore, but he was. And also something that I forgot to say when I was like going out of the atmosphere of Kerbin, when I was going really fast, and you could see that the capsule was on fire because I was going so fast, that the two thermometers that I had duct taped to the side of the capsule had slightly burnt off, so I don't have those anymore. And also, you could see that my periapsis is below the atmosphere, so I don't even need to use the engine to get into into a collision course with Kerbin, because I can just use the atmosphere slowing me down to slow down enough. You can also see the Mun in the background. And you can see that the pointer on the atmosphere gauge on the top of the screen is slowly moving more and more to the right. And now the capsule has hit the atmosphere. And now the video is at 4 times speed, and now it's at 1 times speed. And you can see that the periapsis and apoapsis are slowly switching spots. And right now, the footage is at 10.4 times speed, actually. I meant to speed it up 10 times speed, but I accidentally sped it up 10.4 times speed. But it's close enough. And then I did more science just then, and then we hit Kerbin in the desert. And there was a small explosion that destroyed 2 of the mystery goos. But I still had all of the science that I had used those 2 mystery goos for earlier in the flight, just I couldn't do it in the new desert of Kerbin. Because when you go and do science experiments in a new biome, it gives you more science. But you could see it gave like a notification saying that I did science in the desert of Kerbin. And here I got 31.4 science from the first orbit of Kerbin, and now I have 48 science in total. Now I can unlock basic science, which is what I will unlock right now. So now I have a new probe core, batteries, a few more different types of heat shields, whatever that other thing is that I don't know what it is, and then Science Junior and a radio antenna. But that was all of the video. You have to subscribe now, or else you will be trapped in space for exactly 3 years with no food. But I am trying to beat my friend who's a YouTuber named XXGhostEyesXX who has 200 subscribers. So subscribe so I can beat him.